Hey y'all, welcome back to the 4S blanket crochet along. It is July, and I don't know about y'all, but it has been some kind of hot here in Alabama where I am. So for this month's square, I figured something airy and breezy and cool was the way that we needed to go. Something open and breezy, and yeah, so I give you the fillet stitch, and that is my variegated version and my solid version. So what do y'all say we get started? Okay, so for this month's square, we're gonna still be using the medium 4-weight acrylic yarn, or whatever 4-weight you've chosen to use, and a 6mm crochet hook. Now we're gonna start by putting a slip knot on our hook and chaining 48 chains. So chain your 48 chains, and I will see you at the end of that chain. Alright, when you have your 48 chains, we're going to put a double crochet in the 6th chain from the hook. So we're not going to count the hook on the loop on the hook. We're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that 6th chain, we're going to just put a double crochet into it. So what that does is it gives you a double crochet with these 3 chains here. You also have a chain in between this double crochet and these chains, and then you have a chain in between these chains and this double crochet up top. So it's basically kind of like a square there. Alright, so now we're going to chain 1. We're going to skip this next chain and put a double crochet into the next. Just like that. Chain 1, skip that next chain, double crochet into the next. And that's what it starts looking like. You get like all these little windows, and you're just going to keep doing that across this chain row. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next. So go ahead and continue on with this row, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so once you get to the end of this row, we're about to start row 2. And row 2 is going to be the repeat for this entire square, okay? So at the end of this row, at the end of the row, you're going to chain 4, 2, 3, 4, and turn your work. Now, we're going to skip this first double crochet. We're going to skip over this chain, because this chain 4 counts as a double crochet chain 1. So we're going to double crochet into that second double crochet. Just like that. So right in the top of it. See, that counts as your double crochet in your chain 1, so that you have your little square there. directly on top of the one from below. Then we're going to chain 1, skip that chain 1 from below, double crochet in the top of the double crochet from the row below. Chain 1, skip that chain, double crochet in the double crochet from the row below. And that's the repeat. You're just going to keep doing that all the way across the row and for the remainder of the square until you have a total of 21 rows. And I will see you then. When you get to the end of the row and you've done your last double crochet here in your chain 1, you're going to skip this chain here and then put your last double crochet into that next chain. Just like that. And then you'll chain 4 to start the next row. Okay, so once you've completed your 21 rows, we are going to start putting single crochets down this raw edge. So we're just going to chain 1 and rotate our work and put single crochets evenly down this raw edge. And for me, it works out to just do 2 per little square or side or whatever here. So go ahead and continue all the way down and I'll meet you at the corner. Okay, so when you get down to this corner here, you should have 42 single crochets across. So then we're just going to chain 2, rotate our work, and evenly place single crochets along this bottom edge. And we're gonna do it the same way that we did down this raw edge here. We're just gonna go right around putting those single crochets in the little square. Just go around your chain basically, making them single crochets. But when you get down to this corner, you should have 42 single crochets across this edge. So I'll see you at this end. So when you get down to this end, you should have your 42 single crochets, and we're going to chain 2. And then we're going to do the same thing down this raw edge side that we did on the other. And then when you get to the corner over here, you'll chain 2 and turn and work your way across the top. So go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back right here to join to our first single crochet. So when you have made it all the way back around to the beginning, we're going to just chain 2 and then join to that very first single crochet with a slip stitch, just like that. And then we can cut our yarn and fasten off. Yeah. And that is the fillet stitch. The fillet square. So now it's time to join it to our blanket. All right. So for us to join to our square, we've got to join in our border color. We're going to actually join this yarn right here where we had slip stitched to join the other, to finish our border, our single crochet border round. So we're just going to slip stitch to join into there, chain 3, and then we're just going to put a double crochet along this edge in every single stitch. All along this edge here. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you down here. Okay, so when you make it down here to this corner, we're going to put a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet all into that corner space. And then turn our work and continue placing a double crochet in every single stitch across. And I will see you at the next corner. So once you made it down to this corner, you're going to do it the same way. You're going to do a double crochet, a chain 2, and a double crochet all into this corner. And then you're going to do a double crochet in each stitch across this side here. And then once you've reached this corner here, I will meet you there, because that's where we're going to start joining our square to the blanket. Alright, so once you've made it to this corner, we're going to put a double crochet in that corner, and we're going to chain 1 here, and then we're going to go into this corner. This is starting a new row of our blanket, so we're going to go down into the corner of that first square and slip stitch to join it. Then we'll go back and put a double crochet in our chain 2 corner space on our current square. Now we start joining with slip stitch to that double crochet, then put a double crochet in the first stitch of the current square, slip stitch to the next double crochet, double crochet in the next stitch of the current square, slip stitch in the next double crochet, double crochet in the next stitch of the current square. And you're just going to continue this all along this edge, and I will meet you at the last corner. So when you make it down to this corner, you're going to put a double crochet into, you're going to slip stitch into that last stitch. Put a double crochet in your corner space, slip stitch into that corner space above, give a chain 1, then put your second double crochet into your corner space. Then we're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 where we started. Join with a slip stitch just like that. Okay. Now we can cut the yarn. Fasten off. Now you just have to weave in your ends. And your last square is joined to our blanket. All right, see you next month.